Welcome to another episode of HeyJohn Solar. In today's video, we're going to show you how we went about assembling the actual solar panels onto the Sinclair ground mount.
We just dropped off the solar panels with the tractor. That was fun, getting them out here without dropping them. And we're going to go unwrap it and try starting to stack them. Well, there we go. First two panels are up. Now we only have 38 more panels to go. Good morning. Another day in the solar saga. So yesterday we got about, it looks like 3/4 of the way done putting up solar panels. A few snafus along the way. One thing I probably should point out is when you're putting up solar panels, you want to put them all up in the same direction from a wiring standpoint. So if we get, we'll go around here. And underneath here, see, you got a female and a male. And if you didn't pay attention when you were putting your panels up, you could end up with a mix. And then when you go to connect them to each other, like here, if I'm gonna just connect these things in series, right, they're right next to each other. Whereas if you ended up flipping some around. So that was one thing that nobody pointed out in any of the YouTubes. I guess it's obvious, and again, just dense John didn't catch on. But luckily we caught on very early on in the process. This is a Sinclair seasonable adjustable mount, so we can change the tilt for the seasons. And it goes together fairly easily. These are their brackets. These are grounding brackets. If you can see, there's little teeth here that go in here. Those are the end brackets. And then in between, you have these brackets. And again, they have little teeth that are supposed to dig in just a little bit. And I mean just a little bit. If you over tighten this, you will break your glass. And how do I know that? Well, see that solar panel sitting on the ground over there? Well, we ate one yesterday. And it all started with just over tightening one of those little brackets. And then the glass basically just fractured. And when the glass fractures, it literally fractures everywhere. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but it is just fractured everywhere. And then that's where probably a rock is underneath, and it's just done that overnight. One lovely, costly mistake. This is the second panel that's fractured. We have another one that we're using actually underneath that pile of panels to protect the others. And that one was broken when this pallet was opened. The other thing they don't tell you is on this pallet, they're all stacked. What would that be? Vertically, I guess. So we just unboxed the other solar panels, and a little bit of a problem. Unlike the ones that were stacked on top and could easily take off a pile, these are all on their side. So they're all going to want to fall out. So hopefully we can unstrap them and lay them on this cardboard, because it's 1,000 pounds. And needless to say, it's on a little bit of an angle. And so you got 1,000+ pounds that just wants to fall. Not fun. But we'll survive. So this morning when my help gets down here, this is definitely a minimum of a two-person job. 3 or 4 would be much better. Um, then we'll start shoving the rest of the panels up here and hopefully get the rest of them at least up here. And then we'll be able to wire things up and things like that later on. But kind of gives you a look of how it looks underneath here. So far, it seems to be coming out okay.
So, as it turns out, on day 2, my help couldn't help anymore. And so I had to figure out how to get the remaining solar panels up on the mount by myself. So, it wasn't actually super difficult. We just used the long pallet that the panels came on with my tractor, and I simply took one panel at a time, put them on the pallet, and as you see, try to get it kind of lined up with the ground mount and drag them up there. Obviously, not very efficient, very slow going, but one person, lo and behold, can build a solar array, even one of this size. So for the next little bit of video, there isn't any dialogue. I do speed it up because there's hours of video, so I've tried to cut and just kind of show you a little bit of what it takes to assemble this whole thing, getting the solar panels up there and stuff like that with the tractor. If you want, skip ahead towards the very end where I do come back when the whole assembly gets put together.
there's the array. We got the panels up today, and hopefully we'll be able to pull some wire next week then.
If you'd like to see how this whole thing finally works out in the end, be sure to like and subscribe so you get notified when the next video comes up. Have a great day.